Alright guys, welcome to another weekly outlook video. I know it's a little bit of a weird one because I had a live stream where I basically covered what I was looking for throughout the week, what my expectations are on the chart, but this is obviously because of Monday's development. I wanted to see how Monday's candle or price action was going to print out before being able to determine where we are likely to go next. So I'm going to start off with gold. If you tuned into the live stream over the weekend, you would know that my top watch for the week was gold and NASDAQ. So I'm going to start off with gold in this video. Looking at the 1 hour chart of gold. Actually, let's start off with the daily time frame. On the daily time frame, we can see that price has traded, on Friday, traded into this our daily fair value gap, this bullish fair value gap that we have right here, and was starting to reject towards the end of the day. I paid very close attention when we made this very low, right? So this is basically the daily fair value gap that was tagged, which is a liquidity sweep on a lower time frame. And for me personally, I was waiting to see if we could get confirmation to the upside. Yes, I did let you guys know on the live stream that I was looking for a potential move lower, clearing this outside liquidity before we can start pushing back to the upside. But because of how price developed, especially on the hourly chart, which is obviously my confirmation time frame. Of course, if you're looking at a daily PDRA, your confirmation time frame is the hourly. If you're looking at a weekly, it's the 4 hourly. If you're looking at an hourly, your confirmation time frame is your 15 minutes. Your 5 minutes, not 15 minutes. So in my case, I was watching to see how price reacts at certain levels. I wanted to see over the weekend if we could respect this order block to the downside, right? So when price traded up into this order block, the same purple area that we marked out over the weekend on Sunday, I saw that we had a very bullish expansion to the upside, right? Price didn't even slow down, did not even try to react around this area. So this gave me the indication that we could actually see ourselves pushing to the all-time high today or tomorrow, right? Because of this bullish closure to the upside, we even created a new bullish fair value gap on the hourly time frame over there, and we can see price reacted away from it. If you still did not trust, let's say, buying this fair value gap exactly as it is, like so, because someone could maybe set an entry where they buy at the fair value gap and target the all-time high, or target a 2R position, or target psychological levels like 4,400 or 4,500 just above us right there, right? If you did not do any of that, or you did not trust that you were going to get confirmation, then of course you could have gone to your lower time frame. Again, remember we are working with an hourly PDRA, which is an hourly fair value gap. Confirmation time frame is what? The 5 minutes chart. So on the 5 minutes chart, we displaced higher after tapping into the hourly gap, creating a market structure shift to the upside and a fair value gap for us to potentially continue buying gold from. Right, so price reacted inside of it and rejected away, and now we can see we are slowly grinding to the all-time highs once more on a Monday. We could potentially clear it off by the end of day or during Asia session. Then of course, going through the all-time high, the next level, the next target that I have in mind, as I mentioned earlier, would be the 4,400 psychological level. Then going through that would be the 4,500. So let me just mark this out for you so you could see, you can see what it looks like visually. 4,400 is just above these equal highs right there. Let me show you what it looks like on the 15 minutes. We have the equal highs. Just above the equal highs, we have the 4,400. Then of course my actual psychological target is 4,500. So that's $4,500 per ounce of gold, in case anyone is wondering what that means. So I have these two levels on my chart, 4,400, 4,500. If we're really zealous this week, we could potentially see 5,000. The very much talked about $5,000 per ounce target that most people are probably eyeing at the moment. Then anyway, so I'm bullish on gold. I'm just looking to buy any retracements, any pullbacks. No need to try and stop the train as it's moving as fast as we are right now, right? It does not pay you ever to be right on the markets. Like, you don't get paid by being right in the market. You get paid by actually trading profitably, by actually sticking to your rules and by actually pulling the trigger. You being right does not really make you any money. It's actually taking trades and being, I could say, being concise or being pragmatic with the charts or the market is what makes you money. But of course, everyone trades their own way, so I can't really say. Anyway, moving on to NASDAQ. NASDAQ did exactly what I was expecting. Over the weekly outlook live stream that we had, I mentioned to you guys that I was expecting a bullish expansion from this area, but I wanted to see some sort of manipulation, right? So right there, we opened up with a gap higher. That's why I marked this out as my new week opening gap. The difference between when we closed on Friday and when we opened on Sunday. That's the new week opening gap, right? So we opened up and took this swing low right there. This swing low right here. We took the swing low during Asia session and then rejected away from it. So when we took this swing low and tapped into this hourly bullish fair value gap, this gave me the indication that we are likely going to start expanding now. I was not really looking for any further discounted levels. I was potentially keeping an eye out for a possibility of us taking the swing low one more time. There was a chance that we could have actually taken the low, then started expanding higher like this, right? I kept this possibility in mind, but of course price never really did that. We expanded higher, we closed and even created new fair value gaps, and then price came back down to that new week opening gap as a PDRA. Again, any and every gap on the market is a PDRA in some way, shape or form. So we bounced off of it during the New York opening price, I think right there. So when price started pushing away from the new week opening gap, this could have been your potential entry right here when we have this 15 minutes bullish fair value gap, right? We have a 15 minutes bullish fair value gap right here. This was the only entry that I was actually able to see, but I was very hesitant to take in this because of the fact that, as I said earlier, I was looking forward to a possibility of us taking the swing low one more time before pushing higher. So this could have been your trade setup, targeting the all-time highs for a nice 3-hour position from this bullish fair value gap. But yeah, I was not in it. I did not take it. So moving forward, going into Asia and going into tomorrow's price action, I am paying attention to specifically this top fair value gap on the hourly chart right here. I'm looking to see how we react from this area, but I'm expecting price to tap into the fair value gap, then push away to the all-time high. This is my expectation on NASDAQ, and we will see how the price plays out. Now moving on to dollar and dollar measures. My bias on this still remains the same. Nothing has really changed, even though Monday's price action has played out. Remember, my bias comes from the 3-monthly chart, the 3M, which is the quarterly chart. I'm looking to see if we can retrace back into this fair value gap. Let me actually just remove everything else on my chart right there. I'm looking to see if we can retrace back into the range, into this bearish fair value gap. Then of course, if price wants to use that later on to drop off, that's a whole different story. I'm not really looking at that. Short term, or should I call it mid term, I'm looking to see if price can push back into this bearish fair value gap. The opposite is true on Euro USD. I'm not going to focus much on GBP USD, but I might from time to time. So let's just pay attention to this. I think there's something I wanted to delete. Okay, it's not there. Yeah, we have a bullish fair value gap. We're looking to see if price can drop down from there into there. It's a very simple view, very simple bias. On the daily time frame, I was mentioning how I would have liked to see us take this high before falling off, but to be honest, price really does not need to do that. We have reacted already from this bearish fair value gap, and right now we've already taken some sort of liquidity by taking this high right there. On a lower time frame, obviously it's a swing high, because this is a daily chart that makes that high to be an actual high of day that existed at some point in time. So personally, I am targeting the swing low, the sell side liquidity right there, basically the 1.14 level, 1.14 flat. If you're not too certain, if you're not too sure on whether or not to take this trade, like me, I would rather wait for confirmation. I would wait to see if we could close below this daily time frame, this daily fair value gap. If and only if we trade below and close below this daily gap, that I would be looking for some sort of pullback or some sort of lower time frame entries to ride it all the way down to the 1.14 psychological level or 1.14 round figure level. So this is my view, my bias on EU. The same applies with GU. I'm bearish until proven otherwise. So where it says my eyes are down here, my eyes are here. Those are relative equal lows. Don't mind all the scribbles on my chart. Actually, let me get rid of this. We don't need to have all that makeup on the chart. So the same thing applies here. I'm watching this bullish gap. If we can close below the gap, then we could look for potential entries to start selling into the equal lows that we have down here. Very simple view. Otherwise, if we don't, then we could potentially respect these gaps and push high to this swing high right there. So yeah, that's all I have for now on the indices. NASDAQ and ES, bullish to the all-time highs. Gold, I'm bullish to the new all-time high and psychological levels after that. Bitcoin, I'm still neutral. I don't have a bias yet on this. And yeah, if you have any questions, please let me know. If you have any other insights, any other different view from mine, even if it's the same as mine, please let me know in the comment section below. For now, stay safe, good luck, and as always, good trading.